Take a look at this. Another brazen crime committed in the city of New Orleans. You can see two women being carjacked Saturday right around 11 a.m.
Among the recent crimes, a car stolen with a 5-year-old child still inside on January 7th.
Yeah, that's right, Stella. Carjacking spiked last year in the city of New Orleans. 288. That's up more than 20% from the previous year.
New crime data shows a startling spike in violent crime in New Orleans, and there are serious concerns that trends will only worsen without a major shift in strategy. New Orleans has seen 66 carjackings just since the start of the year. That's 1 or 2 carjackings a day. Well, tonight we focus on one of the young men accused in a string of those crimes.
Investigative reporter Mike Pearlstein began following the case of Quentin Skipper when Skipper was just 16, now 21. He was recently sentenced to decades in prison.
Alright, so peep gang, this the story of Quentin Skipper, born April 29, 2003, straight out of New Orleans, that jungle where the strong survive and the weak get swallowed whole. This ain't no side story, this that raw street history, real name, real charges, real blood spill, ain't no cap in this. Quentin came in the world already down a man. His pops passed when he was just a baby. Dude ain't even learned how to walk yet, and he already ain't had no pops in the picture. That alone can shift a kid's whole direction.
Quentin needed help. His father died when he was a baby.
And boom, his big brother got took out by diabetes. That shit hit different. Ain't no street beef, just a disease that ended his life.
He lost a brother to diabetes.
His moms, she tried to hold it all together, but pain stacks up in silence when life don't give you no breathers. Early on, folks could see something was off with Quentin. He was moving different, thinking different. Doctors started throwing words around like mental health diagnosis. They ain't say he was slow, just say he was struggling inside his own head. But the biggest shift came at the age of 14. Little homie caught a brain aneurysm. That ain't just some migraine headache, that's a whole bomb going off inside your skull. Lil one damn near died. After that, family said he ain't never been the same.
After a mental illness diagnosis, he started getting into scrapes with the law. Then, at 14, he suffered a life-threatening aneurysm.
From there, the spiral sped up. Courtrooms became second homes. Juvenile courts stayed calling that boy name like he was waiting on a chicken and rice plate from Manchus. It was always the same pattern. Get a charge, get probation, violate it, spin the block and catch another one. His moms, she steady saying she begged them people for help, talking to the courts, the system, whoever would listen. They ain't never come through. But in reality, it's her job, not theirs. She claimed the juvenile system hit her with fake promises, say they ain't got no beds, ain't got no answers. Send him back to her like that's your problem, not ours. Straight up told the judge they ain't know how to deal with dude. Wipe their hands clean like they ain't see what was coming.
He told the judge that they would prefer giving back to his mom because we don't know how to deal with that and they didn't want their responsibility.
And then 2019 hit. That year, Quentin's name lit up like headlines, like them new LED lights on the Crescent City connection, the real ones from the NO, call it the Mississippi River Bridge. Him and 2 other young dudes, 2 16 years old and 1 14-year-old, went on a wild carjacking spree throughout the city. Great mayhem, 9 victims in just 2 days. Broad daylight, no mask, no mercy. Them boys was cutting up.
NOPD announced today several arrests involving carjackings. WDSU's Aubrey Killian joins us live from NOPD headquarters. Aubrey, we just heard from NOPD Superintendent Sean Ferguson. What did he say?
Hey, Christina. So Superintendent Sean Ferguson just announced the arrest of 4 suspects linked to violent crimes all across the city. And take a look. What makes this story so shocking, really, is how young those 4 suspects are. So take a look. Like you mentioned, a news conference just wrapped up. This is for 9 different violent crimes all across the city. We are talking about armed robberies and carjackings. So the 9 incidents, they stretch from December 19th to the 21st. He said that kids committing crimes in the city is almost like a game of, quote, Grand Theft Auto. Here's more from a news conference that just wrapped up minutes ago.
It is my hope after these arrests that these individuals will be fully prosecuted and held accountable for their actions. Again, this is something that we cannot do alone. We have to address this collectively, and the citizens stepped up as we have always asked them to do.
3 juvenile suspects were arrested. 2 were 16 114. All had been through the juvenile justice system many times before.
They wasn't just taking whips, they was jacking folks with force. One lady got straight punched in the face. Another said she lucky she ain't end up in a casket. That wasn't just petty crime. That was reckless, heartless, savage, real demon time type shit.
The threat was very, very direct. I will hurt you badly. I could be dead.
It's just like nailed me right in the face.
The NOPD and DA at the time, Leon the Snake Canizero, came out heavy talking about the revolving door in juvenile court. Said the system letting these boys walk in and out like it's Walgreens.
The revolving door of juvenile court crops its ugly head again.
Meanwhile, everybody in the whole city know they corrupt as fuck. Two of them boys copped out, took that juvenile life sentence, and then they locked down till they 21. That was a wrap for their childhood.
Skipper's two co-defendants are now free after serving juvenile life.
But Quentin, his case never even hit trial. Why? Because the court was trying to figure out if he was even mentally fit to stand trial. So while they debated, Quentin sat in limbo, and eventually they let him go. No trial, no accountability, nothing. They let him walk right out the door without telling a soul. The excuse that they used was that he was let out on accident. One victim found out from the news. She was still waiting on her court date when she seen his name pop back up in the headlines. That boy had already been out, already caught new charges, and she ain't even know.
I was blown away.
Elizabeth Schindler was one of Skipper's alleged victims in that 2019 carjacking spree. Back then, she wanted to remain anonymous. She says she was still waiting to be called for Skipper's trial when we told her he had been released and rearrested as an adult.
Imagine my utter shock when you reach out and you tell me, oh, turns out he's been out.
Meanwhile, Quentin's mom was telling people that she knew what it was. He was stuck on that the system failed him shit. Again, putting the burden of raising her child on the state instead of taking accountability. So dig this, months later, Quentin got snatched up again, this time in Jefferson Parish. They hit that boy with coke and weed charges. While he was locked in that parish jail, he caught another one, battery on a correctional officer. Then guess what? That boy got bailed out again. Still no programs, no therapy, no watch list, just back to the block. Wild and reckless.
He was released without any conditions. What's your reaction to that?
That is just overwhelmingly shocking. If you're going to release these kids, then they need to be released into programs that can help them. And if there's no programs that can help them, then what are we doing as a city?
I swear, bro, I can't make this shit up. Quentin Skipper was jailed at the Orleans Parish Justice Center in lieu of a $261,000 bond after being accused in at least 3 of the 39 known carjacking incidents that had raised anger and fear throughout the city.
Well, none of us expect to be a victim of a carjacking, but these frightening crimes can happen to anyone. WDSU Investigates is tracking the numbers, and this year, the city of New Orleans is on pace to surpass carjackings in 2020. There have already been 72 carjackings in New Orleans in the first 3 months of the year. Compare that with 43 over the same period last year. Chief Investigative Reporter Greg LaRose dug a little deeper into who's most likely to become a victim, when and where, and what an expert says you can do to lower your risk.
Quentin was accused of simple kidnapping and theft of a motor vehicle in connection with a January the 7th incident outside the Bayou Bistro in Mid-City. 12 said in sworn arrest documents that Skipper was the suspect who was dropped off by an accomplice, jumped into an island SUV and mashed out with a 5-year-old boy in the back seat. Our little one's mother was inside picking up a takeout food order. To keep it all the way 100, she needs to be punished too. 20 minutes later, Bell found her whip abandoned about a mile away at the intersection of North Dupree and DeSoto Streets in Bayou St. John. The little one was found unharmed. And right there, we moving into the next phase. Grown man shit. Case is real. No more juvenile excuses. February 28, 2024, U.S. District Court in New Orleans. That place was tense. They ain't playing no game that day. The courtroom packed. Feds, lawyers, even some of the victims, folks slid through to see how it would all unfold. Prosecutors came heavy. They ain't sugarcoat shit. shit. Told the judge flat out Quentin was not no lost soul or misunderstood youth. He was a grown man, made grown man moves, and now he got to sit on them. They brought up every detail, how Quentin helped snatch the victim, how they roughed up dude, robbed him, threatened him, then crossed state lines like it was nothing. Feds say this wasn't no random act. This was a cold, deliberate move, part of a string of reckless, violent behavior. Quentin's defense tried to throw some shade on his co-defendant, like Quentin was just riding along, caught in the mix. But the judge wasn't buying that at all. He hit back, told him straight up Quentin had chances to walk away, to make a better decision, but he ain't. He chose this life, chose this move, and now he gotta pay. And just like that, the game came full circle. Quentin Skipper, who once had the city in the chokehold, ended up sentenced to 26 years in Angola, Louisiana's most brutal state prison. That ain't no low-level bed, that's the farm, where time moves slow and pain come fast. Ain't no comfort in that place, just hard beds, harder faces, and memories that haunt you in the dark. All them stolen whips, all them robberies, none of it meant nothing but a whole lot of time once that gavel dropped. Courtroom ain't care about no status or reputation. They ain't see a boss. They saw a man who couldn't outrun the choices he made. Angola don't play. That's where you go when the streets run out of mercy and the system slam the door shut behind you. The ones who loved him, they felt it. Moms had to hold her tears in front of kids. His partners either got ghosts, some dead, some locked up, some just moved on. Same streets that crowned him king, they batted blank when he fell. That's how it go. Ain't no myth in this story, just a dude who had it all right there in his grips, let it all slip through chasing shadows. No fair time, no jailhouse redemption, or just 26 real ones in Angola. And whatever come after that, the Quentin Skipper story. Ain't no happy ending, just poor and bad decisions.